Hello everybody, Steve Rifkin from Berkshire Hathaway. Welcome to episode number 53 of Real Estate with Steve Rifkin. So I talk about sales, I talk about listings, I talk about marketing, I talk about photographs, I talk about staging, I talk about a lot of things in these videos, but what I don't talk about is what happens when you're in escrow and the property falls out of escrow. What do we do? Well, last year I think the numbers were about 12% of the transactions fell out of escrow. Then at the beginning of this year, it was 17%. During the pandemic, I don't know what the numbers were, or I should say during the beginning of the pandemic. I don't know what the numbers were, but I think they were pretty high because I had two in escrow going into that pandemic, and they both fell out. So we ended up getting them back into escrow. We ended up selling both of them, but this is what we do. If they fall out because of something that happens in the inspection, the first thing I do, well actually the very first thing I do is if I have multiple offers, I call up the other offers and I see who's still interested. So hopefully we already have someone without having to go back on the market. But then what I do is I give them the inspection reports, which you have to disclose anyway. So instead of waiting until we're in escrow and we have to give the seller disclosures, I give them right at the beginning. I let them walk around the house if they want, holding the inspection report and seeing what the problem is. That happened with a Calabasas house a few years ago. The inspection report was much rougher than the property actually was, and we ended up selling it no problem. But that's what happened with these two. They walked around with the inspection report, so they know what's going on. They're free to do an inspection on their own if they want. But the thing is, once everything has been disclosed, they see the inspection reports, they see, well, if there's a problem with the HVAC, we know that's under the home warranty, or if there was a problem with the leak, we see that it was leaked, and we see that they brought in a water expert to see that there's no damage from that. Once they have all these inspections and anything that the seller did to improve the property, we give it to them, and then usually it's a very smooth escrow after that. So that's the key. Now, if it falls out because they can't get the loan, that happens sometimes, not as much. Usually, if you're going to fall out, you fall out during the investigation period of the property. But sometimes you fall out because the people can't get the loan. Now, usually we cross-qualify them at the beginning, or maybe something happened. Maybe they lost their job. Maybe all of a sudden their debt ratio got skyrocketed up because they bought a whole new bunch of furniture and a new car while they were in escrow. Which, by the way, I tell all my buyers, I even tell the agent representing the buyers when I'm the listing agent, is please don't make any big purchases on your credit card because that's going to change your debt ratio, and then you may not be able to get the loan in the end, especially some people who are very close. And right now lenders are very strict, very, very, very strict, so you don't want to upset that debt ratio. So if you fall out because of the loan, the next person that comes in, I make sure they get cross-qualified again. We see what the problem was with the last person, and usually it's something that you can't help. Like I said, like they lost their job or something like that. If it falls out because of the appraisal, I don't think that's ever happened. I've had some appraisals that haven't come in, and we rebutted the appraisals and we won. But so the main thing is, if it falls out during the investigation contingency, we make sure the new buyer knows everything about the house that the inspectors have found out, and we also tell them why it fell out the first time, so they already know, and then usually that one goes smoother and it usually closes. Very rare does the second escrow not close. So if you have any questions about homes falling out or anything else regarding real estate, please give me a call at 818-917-8890. I am happy to help. Thanks for watching. See you next week.